Hari Om. Start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitatvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are looking at who is the Jiivanmukta. So in that we are taking the sloka 426 of the Vivekachudamani. We'll repeat here. Brahmakarataya sadastitaya nirmukta bhahyarthadhihi anya vedita bhogya bhoga kalano nidra suvadbalavat swapna lokita lokavad jagadidam pasyan kvachit labdadhihi aste kaschit ananta punya bhala phalabhug dhanya samanyo bhavihi. So we are looking at this sloka. It says Ananya Vedita Bhogya Bhoga Kalano. So whatever that comes as a result of the process of Prarabdha, he accepts it and enjoys what needs to be enjoyed. But the fact is, he does not go after objects for his own self-satisfaction, because he doesn't depend on anything for his. So the sarvam paravasham dukkam sarvam atmavasham sukham etadya the sarvam paravasham dukkam, any dependence on other than yourself is a bondage, and dependence on your own self, because yourself is always there, so if there is never time you are not there, so therefore it's not you have to depend on person, you have to go and look for yourself, because that's what Jiivanmukta is. And one who is reveling in himself by himself, because the self that he revels is Ananda Swarupa. So he loves himself and says, Mana bhuvam hi bhuyasam iti prematma uchyate. Let me not cease to exist is an expression of love, because anything I love, I would like to keep it, and one wants to live because the life that I am is the beauty. I'm not talking about just the body, mind, intellect, but as a Chaitanya Swarupam, there is essentially continuous thought of I am is there. And until then, I think I am the body, my intellect, and I want to preserve the body, my intellect until I realize. Therefore, there are equipments needed for my realization. It's a blessing indeed to have a proper equipment. Therefore, Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusham Samsrayam, Durlabham Trayami Vaitatu, Daivanugrahetukam. It's only because of the grace of many lives of Punyapalam only I am able to get this human birth. That itself is really because now I can think and I can evolve myself, because it requires a knowledge and it requires a vichara, inquiry. It's not moksha is given to individual. Moksha has to be claimed, that I am free from, even though it is my intrinsic nature, because I am turned outward thinking that I am a local. So jnanam has to come. Jnanam has to come by inquiry process, by the buddhi only. Therefore, that buddhi, and to have that such kind of buddhi, that called the nitya anitya vastu viveka buddhi, which can discriminate what is that which is not seen, and from that what is seen, because what is seen is taken as a real, what is not seen is not real, and that confusion is there because we are going by whatever I see is real. And that's a problem. In fact, many acharyas endorse that because you see it, drishyatva, therefore it is real. The world is real because you see or you perceive, experience, therefore it is real. But at the same time, they think there is a higher reality over this lower reality. So they do have a hierarchy of reality also. Parandhama or Divya Vibhuti is higher than the Leela Vibhuti. And you go to Divya Vibhuti, and that is where we think it's more permanent and more real compared to this relative real. So they do have the order of reality also. And in Advaita, we call this lower reality as that which is changing, and that which has a material, which material intensive nature is to change, and that we call it is a mithya. It is sadasat vilakshanam, neither real nor unreal. It's not real because it's changing. It's not unreal because it's experience. So whatever experience has to be unreal in terms of the mithya only. That knowledge can only be gained using the mithya only, mithya buddhi in the transactional world only. I have to recognize I am beyond the transactions because I claim I am an existent and I am conscious entity. I am not looking for existence and consciousness. What I am looking for is only anandam, and that itself is the knowledge that there is no anandam outside. The source of anandam is I am, and that anandam is infinite because that's only limitless. Is limitless only is the pure anandam. Any limitation causes suffering. All that is implied here. That is Brahmakarataya sadasitaya nirmukta bhahyartadihi anya vidita bhogya bhoga kalano nidrasavatu balavatu. So we have covered up to that. So whatever that comes as a result of prarabdha, that jiva, body, mind, intellect, which are born out of prarabdha, will continue, and it will continue because of my own prarabdha, or because the body, mind, intellect are there, but also it is kept by the Brahman or Ishvara for the benefit of the totality, because that kind of mind and that kind of trained mind and that kind of mind which is available is now can be used for the loka kalyanam, for the benefit of the totality, and therefore Brahmavit Brahmaiva bhavati, a knower of Brahman has become Brahman. So from then on it's only the Brahman using, Brahman is infinite, using as though quote unquote the local BMI in order to benefit the total Brahman, that is totality. That's called loka kalyanam. And this is now what is the vision of the local mind and intellect of the jiva. Once I recognize that I am not the jiva, I am the totality. So he looks at the world, and at the same time he has a knowledge of the totality. So he's like a visa having, he has a one step there and recognize that I am the totality. At the same time BMI is there, therefore the individual Chidabhasa equipment with the localized body, mind, intellect and the transactions are also there. Therefore his understanding will be, when he using the body, mind, intellect and look at the world, what is this vision or what is his lookout, what is the values that he gives to the totality. Right now as a jiva, as an ajnani jiva, I give the reality to the plurality and I am going after because I feel I am only this and I am not that. I would like that also to be mine, and therefore I am running after objects for my fulfillment because I don't like limitations, because intrinsically I am full, but I am taking the body mind limitations as my limitations and trying to solve the limitations, and by acquiring this, grandizing this and enjoying this and enjoying that, I am going after sense object which is namarupa only, trying to gather this as this is mine and so on. So ahankara and mamakara are coming continuously throughout my life, making my life miserable because I don't get what I want and I am unhappy, because everybody wants that only. And when the goodies are limited and everybody is pouncing for it, only one fellow will get, looking for a promotion and everybody is striving for promotion, and only one seat one will be getting and others will be disappointed. So in spite of efforts, and when I may criticize that the other fellow got it by wrong means and all that, but I didn't get it only because it's not destined for me, but I have to make an effort in such a way that Lord himself gives the benefit. So work has to be done, whatever is in terms of the yajnartam karmano nyatra lokoyam karmabandhanaha, and the one who is karma yogi is essentially the dexterity in the action automatically follows, because he wants the best in order to perform, for he is offering that as a naivedyam to the Lord, and whenever you offer something to the Lord, it has to be the best. So therefore a jnani also does the best that can be offered to the world also. So the way he performs the action, every action will be the best to the degree that the body, mind and intellect can act. I'm going to talk a little bit about my own experience of the Gurudev in terms of how the sankalpa of a Jiivanmukta operates as an example of my own training also. But here let's look at this sloka. It says Nidra suvad balavatu swapna lokita lokavad jagadidam. So Anya Vedita Bhogya Bhoga Kalano Nidra suvad balavatu. Like a balavatu, by a child is offered something, he accepts it. Mother gives something, now it is a time for you to eat this one, now time for milk, now time for this one. So because mother knows what that child requires for its growth. So mother is feeding appropriately in appropriate time, and what is required for the child to grow. So same way, Lord Ishvara himself will be as though feeding the Jiivanmukta whatever is required to keep maintaining that body so that it can be used to the maximum benefit possible. If there is a bigger body has a problem because of the prarabdha, whatever it has to be suffered will be suffered by the body, by intellect, but at the same time, whatever is required that can be adjusted will be done according to the Ishvara Srishti. So Ananyas Chintayanto ma Janah Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogatshemam Mahamyam. I take care of the yoga Kshema, that is the guarantee of the Lord himself. Therefore, once I surrender to that, so Jiivanmukta has completely surrendered to the Lord, or surrendered to the reality, or surrendered to oneself, or to self which is nothing but Brahman. Therefore, the Brahman himself will take care of the body, mind, intellect. And it is as though feeding Balavata is whatever is given that is required is fed by the Lord in a different form. Because every society is nothing but, the whole world is nothing but Lord himself. And therefore Balavata, he enjoys whatever comes. So Anya Vedita Bhogya Bhoga Kalano and Nidra Suvatu Balavatu. So Balavat is like a child he enjoys. And Nidra Suvatu, he says, Swapna Lokita Lokavat Jagadidam Pasyan Kvachit Labdadihi. So Swapna Lokita Lokavatu. So it is like as though the whole world is like a dream for him. In the dream means transactions will go on, but there is no reality to it from the part. And he is awakened dreamer. It's not like a dreamer. When I go to a dream state and I forget, there is an avarana, forget that I am a waker sleeping in a comfortable bed. But when I am dreaming that I am in a miserable guy, or like Janaka says, he was dreaming like a beggar and starving there. And when he gets up from that, he asks Ashtavakra, am I a beggar now dreaming like a king, or am I a king who was dreaming like a beggar? What's my real nature? He says, neither I am a waker, nor I am a dreamer. That means neither you are a king, nor you are a beggar. You are something that enlivens the kingness and enlivens the beggarness also. These states are changing, but I am beyond that. So essentially, Swapna Lokita Lokavatu. So in the Swapna, in the dream, when I see the dream, I see the world of plurality there also. The trees are there, the forest is there, the sun is shining, the water, all that. I can be thirsty, I can become sick in my dream. And when I become sick, I have to go to dream hospital only, seeing dream doctors and take dream medicines to get cured in the dream only. All that is, as long as I am in the dream is not a dream but a dreamer. It is a real. Only when I am awakened to the higher state of this, then I recognize that the millions of dollars that I had in the dream are only a dream. There is no reality. Here I am only a pauper without anything at all. So all that millions of dollars that are available in the dream are not useful to buy an iota of something here. That unreality of the dream is as though recognized only when I am awakened to the higher state. But in the case of dream, the body, mind and intellect drops out as though, or dissolved for me to be awakened. I will not have the body, mind, intellect with the waking state. I do not have the world there in the waking state. But whereas in the waking state, a realization is a little different in that sense, where I still have the body, mind, intellect, therefore I will be still perceiving the world. If I have the dream, body, mind, intellect, then dream world will be still perceived, even if I have become somehow a jnani, that I am not really a dreamer, but I am a waker sleeping and comfortable. So the attitude of, it is only attitude, a mental notion that the whole world is like a dream, not as really dream. It is like a dream because I still have the body, mind, intellect. I still perceive the polarity. The body, mind, intellect, the breathing is going on. The body, mind, intellect will be undergoing natural the deterioration due to the time, age and all that. All those things is swabhavikam. Swabhavikam means its natural process is occurring, but I am not the body, my intellect, therefore I won't have a problem. That is what a jnani. I can take the role of the body, my intellect, and role when I am transacting in the world with all the defects of the body, mind, intellect as it is, because now I don't want to go and get a new body. It's because already body is available and I can use, and that mind which has been trained so far with the shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavya, that mind can be used now for propagating that knowledge that is available for those who are coming seeking the knowledge. You don't go and advise yourself that I am going to this, because only those that are interested will be coming. Even if the jnana yajnas are done by the cinema mission or where announcement everything, only those people who are really interested will come there. And those people who accidentally are led to that for some reason or other, and they get stuck in it because they get appreciated even though they did not come deliberately, because their wife brought them or somebody brought them, or out of curiosity one comes in, but that curiosity will lead to understanding, because the Lord himself suddenly provides because of their punya. Because this happened to me that way, because I was not interested in the Vedanta class, because I went through, as I mentioned, about the Dakshinamurthy says all these teachings and all that, and whatever I learned is nonsense, and even the other books where the Dakshinamurthy books are thrown, and this is all gone. I was only concentrating on the science aspect, and that was also pleasurable in a way, and only because of my wife insisted that I should go when we are in a close by, out of curiosity I went, but I was flabbergasted by the logic of the spirituality, and therefore I continue. So one can be led by them, because the Lord himself will guide, and somehow you will be exposed to the Vedanta when the mind are mature enough, and the Lord thinks that he needs now that, therefore a proper teacher will be provided. So I don't have to look for a teacher. The Gurudev used to say that don't go and hunt for a teacher with going to Himalayas and that I'm looking for a teacher. Don't look for a teacher. Teacher shall come. That's the law. Because the flower doesn't have to go in search of the bee. Bee will come. Flower has to bloom itself beautifully, and the appropriate bee will come in order to bless the flower. The same way, appropriate teacher will come in order to bless the disciple. A teaching will be given, because that is because of the punyam. That's why the Mahapurusha Samsrayam, the association with the great happens, and because of your punyam of the last lives, and that will automatically lead you to a proper teacher also. And proper teacher will come when the mind is ready. So he says swapna lokita lokavat. So in the difference between the swapnam and the waking state is I recognize now, understand the unreality of this. It's only transactionally real, or vyavaharika sattvam. Swapnam is called pratibhasika satyam. That means it's my mental imagination, and vyavaharika satyam, it is an imagination or the creation by the Ishvara. So even a local guy has realized, doesn't mean that the whole world disappears, as some people think that he is not there, he will not be seeing. He will be seeing, because the body, mind, intellect is there. So as long as the body, mind, intellect is there, which is part of the Ishvara Srishti, the world that is there is also part of the Ishvara Srishti, will remain, until the body, mind, intellect, body goes into the matter, mind goes into the matter of the subtle matter, and the intellect goes into the subtlest matter, and they all distribute themselves, because the one who is enlivened in that is now realized that I am the totality. That has to be recognized. So Swapna Lokita Lokavatu Jagad Idam Jagatu Pasyan Pachatu. So the one who is Labdhati. So whatever that one is experiencing, he looks at the world as unreal, but real enough to transact, but not real enough from the absolute point. Therefore, he has visa, that he knows now that this is a mithya. That's why Brahma Satyam and Jagan Mithya. Jagan Mithya is also important, where when he is transacting in the world, he transacts with the world with a correct understanding that they are not really real, but transactions are important, and because he is transacting and other people are looking after him, therefore he has to transact properly also. Therefore, dharma he follows. And therefore, it says, Yad yad atarajistresha tattad devitarjanaha. So whatever he does, the people try to follow him, because they are all following whatever the teaching, and whatever he does, he says, we don't need Vedanta, therefore other people also think that they don't need Vedanta. A lot of people quote Ramana Maharshi, and Ramana Maharshi himself has condensed Bhagavad Gita 100 slokas, and Viveka Chudamani some of the slokas, and where other people study that we don't need Vedanta, all we need to do is inquire, who am I? That means wrong understanding of who am I. Who am I has to be understood, but who am I is only one aspect of it. That is Tvam Padartham, that I am. But Tat Padartham, because the equation is you are that. That means the whole universe also. Jagat also has to be investigated, where Jagat has to be understood as a mithya. Neither it is Satyam nor Asatyam also. That also has to be investigated. So as long as the body, mind, intellect is there, transactions will go on. And how one should transact? According to the dharma only. What is dharma? As the scripture has provided. That's why dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So as long as a sadhak, he has trained himself to follow a dharma, and that will continue after Jiivanmukta also. And Jiivanmukta follows because he knows other people are watching and other people are trying to follow, imitate him, and therefore he makes sure that they follow also. So that's what called Acharya. Acharya is Achinoti Shastrani, Acharyan Sthapaityapi, Swayam Acharatihi, Yasya Tasmat Acharya Uchate. So Achinoti Shastrani, who filters the all varieties of scriptures and look at the essence of it, Achinoti Shastrani, and Acharyan Sthapaityapi. He makes sure that disciple is the one who is subject to discipline. Make sure that disciples who are following him also follow the Achara. Achara means the Sishtachara. That means the dharmas has to be followed, and not only they follow, Swayam Acharati, himself follows also dharma, because he knows that other people, if he doesn't follow dharma, other people also get misled and they try to avoid it, where they need to follow, and even though Jiivanmukta need not have to follow. In spite of that, he follows, and that's because of his previous samskara. And we'll go into more details of the sloka again and continue, because we are now talking about essentially a Jiivanmukta and what are the wrong notions that are there in the people in terms of who is Jiivanmukta, and all that has to be cleared out. We stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.